We got caffeine. We got our notes. We got our recording stuff. We got a giant somewhere laying around who's being a twat waffle. All we need is a twat waffle eliminator. What the fuck is there a finger laying on the table for?
Oh, sorry, that's the one I lost.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PHG podcast, season 2, episode
3. Episode 3, yes, sir. My name is Giants. Over here we have Chris, and we have a special guest. Most of y'all that have seen the first season of the PHG podcast should know who it is. It's our boy Shane. Shane, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, y'all?
So, a lot has happened, obviously, since the last time we've talked to you on the podcast.
Oh boy, has it.
Do you want to kind of start in the detail what happened there?
Well, I am officially an inch less somewhere on my left hand due to a doctor fucking up.
Medical malpractice.
Oh, hardcore malpractice. So, let's rewind. October 31st, just lovely Halloween day. Somehow, some way, I ended up tearing a tendon in my left middle finger. Not the big one. It's out towards the tip of the finger. So, saw a doctor, sent me to a hand specialist. He told me I got 3 options. I can leave it alone, do not a damn thing, and hope it reconnects at some point, which it never would. Plus, the tip of my finger was dangling, so gloves, searching people, doing all this other shit was painful. Next option was put it in a splint for 4 months, where I couldn't take the splint off at any point in time during that 4-month period, and hope that my tendon repaired itself. Or, third option, surgery, fix the tendon, put a rod in my finger for 8 weeks. I get the best recovery out of it, and I have full use of my finger after a little while. So, of course, it had the best option, so I went with the surgery. Fast forward to the surgery. Doctor tells my wife not a damn thing about my post-surgery aftercare notes. Follow-up for the doctor scheduled for 5 days out. Well, then they call and change it to 7 days out. Show up at the doctor's office on that 7th day. He looks at me and says, "Oh, the wrapping from your surgery should have come off after 2 days." Well, I could see the tip of my finger the whole time, and it was already gray. So, couldn't bend it. Rod couldn't come out of my finger. Stitches didn't come out. Couldn't move my finger at all, even though he said I should be at least able to bend my finger. Couldn't move it. Not one bit. So, fast forward to that weekend, which was Thanksgiving weekend. Ended up spending the weekend in the fucking hospital because they didn't know if it was infected or not. Turns out it wasn't. It was fucking circulatory issues, which not a single doctor made a mention or motion to do anything about it. Mind you, as the weeks go on, because this happened, the surgery was November 15th, and I'm literally going to the doctor once a week. By December 4th, my finger's hard as a rock. Just the tip of it, hard as a freaking rock. Show up to the doctor. He's asking me what's wrong. I just reach over and tap my finger on his counter, and his eyes got as big as fucking saucers. He knew he had fucked up. He knew something was wrong. Could he tell me? Not one bit. So the next day I ended up having to go to my primary care doctor. When she walked in, she's like, "Oh, you have gangrene." I said, "Excuse me?" She's like, "You have dry gangrene. It's lack of circulation is what caused that." I said, "Oh, wonderful. No treatment options." I'm like, ha, grand. Okay, cool. So we eventually, this is, mind you, this is early December. Between Christmas and New Year's, I finally got a CT scan. The week after New Year's, they were like, "Oh, we got your CT scan results. You've got a bone infection." Like, surprise, surprise. What's my option? And mind you, this is the doctor that did the initial surgery. He was my doctor up until this point. And he told me, he's like, "Surgery." I was like, "Well, doc, let's fucking get it scheduled. Right fucking now, let's get it scheduled. Because bone infections are no goddamn joke. No goddamn joke. If that gets in my bloodstream, I'm fucked." He breaks the news to me. The other doctor that would have to do this surgery was in recovery himself from getting a fucking pacemaker installed. So I had to wait. 2 weeks later, I finally got that surgery. And that they were like, "Oh, well, when after the surgery, told my wife, "Oh, we had to take a little more than we anticipated because there was more of a bone infection than we thought there was." You waited 2 weeks to do the fucking surgery. Like, come on. How is there not going to be more of a fucking bone infection? Yes, I was on an antibiotic for 4 months. A myriad of different ones, but antibiotics for 4 fucking months because of this. We ended up taking about an inch off of my finger, and it's just been recovery since then. The skin graft, which was a commercial graft, so it wasn't from some dead cadaver.
Hmm.
It took about 70%, and it's just been a process of getting the tip of my finger to close up since then. It's still open.
Do they believe it's going to close completely?
Oh yeah, it's just, yeah, maybe, possibly. I don't fucking know at this point.
So you've been quite through, and I mean, we've known this, but you've been through one hell of an adventure the past 6 months when it comes to that top third of your middle finger there on your left hand?
Yeah, just below the first knuckle.
Yeah.
Because of that, it had put me on light duty, where I'm in the office taking report calls that come into the office, taking all by public service calls that come into the office or that get dispatched, plus doing any little bit of bitch work around the fucking office. Did that from December 19th through March 19th. And yeah, the 20th I was back in uniform. I had gotten my patrol car back, and I had instantly been assigned to the courthouse because we had a courthouse deputy that wanted to get fired because he wanted to slap his mama when he was fucking drunk.
Yeah, that'll do it.
It sure will. So, yep, now I'm at the courthouse for a temporary unknown amount of time.
Well, as I said before, you've had quite the eventful time period here in the last 6 months. How has how has the adjustment to losing part of your finger affected your life so far?
Well, flipping people off with my left hand is now hilarious every single time. Not just for me, but for them too. The jokes I'm learning are okay. Typing's a bitch. If I want to play a fast-paced keyboard game, I can't, because if it requires pressing 2 buttons, like if I need to go forward then backwards then left and right in a very fast-paced time or walking diagonally, I really can't muster that. I have to stick with slower-paced keyboard games or controller. But I will say, I wasn't sure how this was going to affect my shooting ability. We got issued, or we were getting issued new pistols this year, so we had to qualify with them to carry them. After because we had to go through 8 hours of training plus more training the next day because we were getting red dots on our weapons, and we have to have all this training with them because some people have never fired with them before. So go through all that, do a night shoot, fucking awesome. Next day qualification, our score is out of 250 points for our service pistol. I scored 249 out of 250 for our backups, which mine is the same model pistol just with a different red dot. So I've got a Glock G45 for duty purposes, and then for my backup / off duty, whatever I want to carry it for, I'm qualified with that too. 248 out of 250. Rifles are scored out of 150. I got a 145 out of 150, and shotguns are pass fail. I passed.
So, fortunately, when it comes to your performance of shooting, it doesn't appear that your loss of ligament there has, or your loss of appendage, I should say.
I'm just a little slower left-handed because my grip is a little different.
But don't let anybody fool that he's still the twat waffle eliminator.
Oh, for sure.
Finger.
Oh, I'll smoke you in the face quicker, and you can fucking say Kalamazoo.
Well,
one thing is for sure, I'll add to this situation. You know, you've been through some shit. We covered that in season 1 as a veteran. You know, still putting the uniform every day to be a cop.
Yeah.
And
let's add insult to injury here.
Yeah, no shit, huh? But I will say that you've probably been the most humble person. I don't know if I'd have been that humble throughout this experience. So
am I pissed off about it? Yes. I wholeheartedly want to take a sledgehammer to that doctor's face, or at least have him experience what I went through, and let's kill his middle finger because he's a surgeon, and it would severely impact his life. Whereas apparently it doesn't severely impact a cop's life. So
fortunately.
Yeah.
Well, you know, here's the thing about the line of it. You may not be able to take a sledgehammer to himself personally. Hopefully, maybe one of these days you can get a hold of his sledgehammer bank account.
It's in the process.
Oh,
We'll see what we can get out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully you get some justice. That's all say that.
The man that's usually out there serving justice is trying to get some justice of his own.
I smell a sitcom.
Oh fuck no. But overall, it seems like you're handling it the best that you can considering the circumstances. I mean,
Oh, 100%. You got to have a good mentality about this. And considering everything else I've gone through, getting shot at, having RPGs fly by my head in combat, getting my truck blown out from underneath me, dealing with that through to today, because I have injuries that still plague me to this day. Like Chris mentioned, putting on a uniform. Outside of the military, I've been retired for 9 years today. Tomorrow is my official first day as a retiree from the Army 9 years ago.
Well, we picked a good
Just
time.
took a
Yeah,
minute.
we did take a good time.
So from that point in time, I had a 2.5 month break trying to get hired once I got out of the military, and I've been back in law enforcement since.
Sounds like this injury is more, I would say tip of the iceberg, but I feel like tip of the finger is a lot more appropriate at this time. But I'm glad, I know I can speak for Chris in this instance. We're glad you're handling it well. We're glad everything is moving in the right direction, and hopefully, I know you're kind of being voluntold, but you're back to full duty, even if it's not into the, to the extent you might want to be, but I know you're happy to be back.
It was wholeheartedly voluntold, and then my chief saw me Friday and thanked me for helping out. So,
well, hopefully you'll be back on the streets soon, so you can hopefully start flipping people off there too.
Hopefully. Can't wait to bounce this off of somebody's forehead. Look here, motherfucker.
Did I just get hit by a hailstone? No, you just got freaking twat waffle eliminated by the finger, asshole.
There's a lot going on, not just in your world, but the world as a whole. At the time of recording this was what, last night? Iran attacking Israel.
Yep.
No.
A bunch of drone strikes. I think they calculated
Israel
over 100.
Was fighting a terrorist organization, Hamas. The Palestinian people, I'm sorry, but Palestine has never been a country in the history of the world. So they're just a people. I don't understand it either, but I don't know how Iran wants to enforce something from all the way across Iraq and Syria.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck with that Iron Dome that Israel has.
Shane, were you out in Iran or around Iran, correct?
I was on both sides of Iran, but I really wasn't close to Iran. So Iraq is on the west side of Iran. I was in Baghdad. And then Afghanistan is on the east side of Iran. And I was on the complete opposite side of the country, closer to Pakistan.
Gotcha. Baghdad, not to be confused with Baghdaddy. What kind of...
Baghdaddy.
Shut up. What would be the logic or lack thereof for this happening?
Iran just wants to pick a fucking fight. And right now they want to pick a fight with the United States because we have such a lame duck fucking president who can't lift a fucking finger to help the American citizens of this fucking country. I could talk about that.
I agree.
Yeah.
But if Trump was still in office, no matter how you feel about him as a person or whatever,
he sent out a mean tweet and Iran tucked their tail between their fucking legs.
Pretty much.
We had a backbone, and now that fucking backbone is currently in the retirement home, fucking smelling kids and having hairy legs.
Well, hopefully we can turn the White House from a geriatric center back to a place of business.
Well, only time will tell. The election is in, what, about 5 months? 6 months? Or, about 6 months.
Yeah, about 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, 6-ish months. That's the best way to put it. So, regardless of how you feel, go out there and vote. And just make sure you vote for the right person.
100%. Let's get these woke liberals out of our government.
Tell us how you really feel, Shane. Would you say, one more question about the Iran thing, would you consider this World War III?
Every World War that we've had so far had a provocation. World War I was the Archduke
Ferdinand, yeah.
Of Austria getting capped. So that brought Europe into that war, and we finally helped out with that one in 1918. World War II, Germany wanted to start some shit. We wanted to stay out of it, and then Japan unknowingly brought us into the fight because, well, they were mad because we were withholding oil from them. So there's a provocation. Hamas, the Houthis, the Somali pirates, They're just a catalyst for a lot of shit going on. That whole region's been destabilized for a while, not only from our involvement, but other countries' involvements as well, plus the countries that are there messing shit up. Like Somalia, they didn't give a shit about people going out there and pirating. They were promoting it, from what I understand. The Houthi rebels in, I don't even know what fuck country that is, some desert fucking country, just going out and they don't even give a fuck. They're attacking American warships with shit. That's a problem. You don't mess with our boats.
Japan learned that the hard way in World War II.
So, I mean, you see the picture that's being painted. Do we have catalysts for a world war? Maybe, maybe not. Do we have catalysts for a regional war that's probably going to bring us into it? 100%. Do I like it? No. Can I go do anything about it? Not really. Not until November, when we can maybe get a better president in the office that could do something about it. So we'll see what happens. This is a day-by-day basis right now. I know we'll probably... we've already levied sanctions on Iran. We've levied sanctions on Russia. We've levied sanctions on, well, North Korea, but they're a little pogue-ass country that can't tittle their dick any more better than anybody else can. I just came up with that word, by the way. China, they want to be our friend, then they don't want to be our friend, then they want to be our friend, then they don't want to be our friend, so pick your side. I think we have possibly World War 2.5. Maybe. Until the nukes start flying, I don't think we've officially started World War 3.
Interesting take. I mean, I always...
Well, that's been the predicated World War 3 doomsday.
Yeah.
Nukes. That's been the predicated World War 3 for the last 70 years.
There will be a day, unfortunately.
Hopefully not. Maybe if we can get Russia to calm the fuck down. Putin just needs to start walking. I don't care where he fucking goes. He just needs him and his totalitarianism of we have to retain the borders of original Russia. Motherfucker, that's not how this shit works. I don't care what you think. I don't care about your interview with Tucker Carlson about how you explain or how you detail this. No, that's not, If that's the case, England can come over and rule us and split us up between France, Spain. Oh, Mexico becomes Spain again. Like, we're not backtracking here. We're constantly moving forward. This is a fluid world. Borders will change. Deal with it. You're the largest country in the fucking world. What's Ukraine to you?
Apparently worth what they're fucking fighting for and losing for.
That ain't a lie.
Stupidly losing for.
Yeah.
They're touting, oh, we killed an Abrams with one shot. You took that Abrams out with an anti-tank guided missile? So they've claimed 4, I think we've lost 4 Abrams in Ukraine. Mind you, these are not the most up-to-date Abrams. They've got the demilled stuff. They don't have the depleted uranium armor, all that other classified shit. That doesn't get on export models. But when you claim that 4 have been taken out versus how many T-70 or T-72s, T-80s, T-90s, all those models totaling, I think, like 1,500? How are you going to say that you're better than the Abrams? Because you took it out with an anti-tank guided missile. Not a single tank can survive an anti-tank guided missile to date. So, I don't know.
I don't either, man. I try to keep my head out of
pawns in the stage, and
yeah.
Well, I don't even have a leg in this one because
I try to keep myself out of just the way the world is at the moment. I try to kind of, I've been trying to focus on myself a lot lately, but even before that, it's just I can't do nothing about it. Why am I going to get all worked up over this, and that?
No, I wholeheartedly know. I can get worked up over anything, you know that. Give me a reason.
Let's get you worked up on something that's a little less controversial to people. The weather.
So like how my area right after the eclipse got a severe thunderstorm warning followed by a tornado warning.
So y'all did get a tornado warning, huh?
Yeah.
Because I know we got one south of us.
2-3 hours. No, not even within 2-3 hours. Within 2 hours of the eclipse, we had a tornado warning.
Yeah.
I don't think we had anything touch down, but we certainly had rotation.
Well, what's crazy is not only do we have last week after the eclipse. Oh, by the way, we can talk about the eclipse. We'll get a little more into detail of that in a little bit. But for the meantime, there wasn't anything too crazy. There was like 70-mile-an-hour winds and hail and whatnot. I know Salado got absolutely hammered with wind, and
Oh, they did. They did.
that was pretty intense. What kind of happened out your way, Shane? Anything too crazy, or just about what we said, winds, rain, and whatnot?
Yeah, it's basically winds and rain. We really didn't have too much. By the time I got this far, it was pretty well behaved. We just got some heavy rain, and I don't even think the winds were too bad. We didn't lose any Easter decorations that were still up.
Well, there's a good way to keep in mind. But yeah, no, we have another storm. Apparently, a big cell coming over the Rocky Mountains, and tomorrow and the Tuesday, they're expecting a lot of storms, especially in like that Oklahoma, northern Texas, Kansas, Nebraska area. We're going to see some of that here in central Texas, but they're more worried about that area when it comes to hail and tornadoes, but we still have, I think, a slight or a moderate risk here. I forget which.
We're down here. We're looking at it maybe finally getting here Thursday, and then through the weekend. Lovely.
Hopefully it's not as crazy as they're worried about it right now. Otherwise, we may end up having some shark attacks. Chris has a story that we're totally not going to, totally not trying to segue into. Chris, how are the shark attacks in where you're at?
Over years of doing law enforcement, I know Shane can attest to this. And those listening that do law enforcement and are interested in law enforcement need to listen the fuck up if you don't already know this. But directing traffic is absolutely garbage. You're going to find the true humanity of people. I swear. If I ever had to not direct traffic in my life, it would be too soon. Okay.
Right.
I don't know how cops back in the 20s and 30s did this shit, because I would actually want to be ran over by traffic if I did this all the time. But nevertheless, it is part of our job, and I won't escape it probably till the time I retire, because it's just going to happen.
Yep.
So, and you have some of the dumbest responses. You'll shut down an intersection, a roadway, what have you, and people will pull up to you. Can I come through here? No. There's a police car blocking, fire trucks. I mean, for all intents and purposes, an apron tank could be in the middle of the road, and they still go, well, why not?
That one, they wouldn't see the tank because it's camouflaged.
This last week, we got hit with a monsoon storm. It was horrible. Literally, we've got roads flooding that normally don't flood. I mean, we got like 7 inches of rain, and it was in like less than about a 2-hour period. It was bad. So I'm blocking off a particular road in my jurisdiction, and this older guy pulls up. Now, mind you, usually when we get asked dumb questions, there's no really age gap, but you typically see it coming from, the younger generation. This guy was like, I don't know, 50-something. He pulls up beside me and goes, can I come through here? And I'm like, here we go. And I'm like, no, sir, you cannot. Well, why not? I literally had a truck struck by lightning. I'm soaked from head to toe. I literally gave up on changing my socks. That's how bad this was.
Wow.
And so I was like, you know what? I'll take the complaint. I'll sign this right up. I think a shark attack. I've literally probably always wanted to say so to somebody when they've asked this question why a roadway is shut down. And the guy, without missing a beat, goes, well, with all this rain, I don't doubt it. Well, I'll find another way around. Thank you, sir. He drove away.
Because you told him shark attack. Oh my god.
Stupid is as stupid does. Holy shit.
Who knew there was sharks in, floodwaters? Who knew?
You've had to have a story about somebody being stupid, Shane, right?
Oh, I've got so many. The best one I've had, though, is when I literally yelled at someone to get off my highway because they were being so fucking dumb. It was pouring down fucking raining. This is the year back in, October 2016, when we got enough rain to cover the entire state of Texas with 8 inches of water.
Wow.
Like 36 trillion gallons of water fell that year. In that 1 month, I was not originally supposed to be at this spot, but because troopers wouldn't be able to come in for this event because of weather-related incidents around the state, So I got pulled to do this shit. I was like, oh, wonderful. So here I am, already pissed off, getting pissed on. So yeah, definitely yelled at somebody because they just stopped. Straight stopped. Didn't know what lane they were going to go in. People were honking behind them because they weren't going. They didn't know whether they're going to turn, go straight, turn the other way. They didn't know. Mind you, they're still about 50 yards from me, so I can't just easily walk up to them and go fucking go this way kind of deal because that puts me as way too far to the intersection. But
Yeah.
she definitely yelled at them to get off my highway, and I heard collective laughs from the cops that were near me.
So a whole bunch of shit that I have to look forward to, right?
100%.
Before we go on to what I was about to talk about, how was working the eclipse on Monday, gentlemen?
It was very uneventful.
Same.
Yeah.
We actually went out and watched it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was outside watching it too, and I'll say this on the side of things: I'd rather over-prepared than under-prepared any day of the week.
Oh, of course.
We literally had no calls of service. We had nothing related to the eclipse. Nothing that occurred in Oregon that we were worried about occurred here. I am thankful for that. However, it was a long-ass freaking day.
So what do you think contributes to that? Obviously, we had the weather that was expected to come in that weren't sure about visibility.
Preparation. I think generally us warning people that we weren't going to put up with nonsense of, stopping in the middle of the highway, blocking roadways, unlawfulness. We're just not going to tolerate it here. Oregon, you can do whatever the hell you want to in Oregon. And
Yeah.
Leaders do what they do. They've set stuff up the way it is. It's not that way here. We 100% take your ass to jail for blocking a damn roadway.
So it's almost like the state that actually enforces law and order had some order during a crazy once-in-a-lifetime experience, unlike the state that doesn't enforce it having such an incredibly rough time. Is that what you're saying?
That sounds about right.
Who would have known?
Yeah, who'd have known? Who'd have thunk it?
But
Yeah.
We certainly did not see that coming.
Well, I'm glad y'all both had a relatively easy day, especially to what they were comparing it was going to be like on the...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%, because I was like, well, this ought to be interesting. I've worked a lot of big events, a lot of high-profile stuff over the years that you just want to pull your hair out on, and,
Like the rock, paper, scissors tournament?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Here I make YouTube on a Cool Cops reel, and you make the world around playing rock, paper, scissors with a drunk girl. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. His wife and his kids were playing it on Facebook yesterday, and...
Oh, shut the fuck up. You guys are going home.
You need to tell your wife not to leave such open ammunition available to me like that. Come on.
Right.
But
yeah, well, your mom's plenty enough ammunition for me, so I guess it's even Stevens.
You're not wrong, pal. You're not wrong. But getting back on track here, glad to hear that you guys didn't really have too much of a difficult time with that eclipse, and hopefully it stays that way for any kind of major future events.
Yeah, hopefully that we set the precedent, then we ain't putting up with no crap. So
yeah, and hopefully I'll be able to join you guys doing that kind of shit. I have my interview in, today's Sunday, so in 3 days on the 17th.
Full moons are real.
Yeah, I've already prepared. I've plucked my unibrow. I've shaved the beard off. I kept the mustache.
Oh, hey. Yes, we're rocking stashes, bro.
Yeah. I even went as far as shaving my pits and my balls, even though they're not going to see either of those. But if for the both of you, real
5 points deducted for shaved balls. Got it.
Okay, thanks, asshole. Is there any advice? Obviously, I've drained advice from you guys over the years, but is there any advice that you could give not only to me but to anybody else that's listening that's planning on becoming a cop and going through really the whole process, but specifically since we're talking about it, the interview?
Nobody's better than you. Everyone puts their pants on the same way, one leg at a time. I have not seen someone put their pants on both legs at a time to make themselves that much fucking more special than you are.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know it all. You come into this job. the crap you've seen on YouTube does not fucking apply. Keep an open mind. You're not going to freaking change the world in the freaking first 2 minutes that you put the uniform on. So you may never. And who knows? Get ready for a grueling process that's not easy. You're going to face some stuff that you never thought you'd face. So,
I mean,
yeah.
I've been going through this process on and off for 5+ years now, trying to get to where I want to be between Florida and here. So just because it doesn't happen the first second, or in my case, I've probably applied to double-digit at least amount of agencies. Doesn't mean it isn't going to happen. Just means when it does happen,
finally find your right agency.
When I first started,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, look at me. I put my eggs in one basket 2 times and got hired the first time, both times.
There you go.
it just depends on what life has in store for you.
The whole law enforcement's really changed. There's a video that circulates around of one of the comedians online that does it. That recruiting back in 2011 was like, hey, we're going to call your references to take a year, and then now it's like an interest card, and we want you to come on down. This is a recruitment paradise right now. There is such a influx of police jobs out there now that did not exist when Shane and I probably started.
I mean, my department has 10 openings right now.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Chris,
God,
you had to pay your own money out of pocket to put yourself through.
I did. And that was really kind of a lazy thing on my part. Kind of in a way, I'll reflect a little bit. I never really tried prior to going to the academy to put myself or to get hired. But like I said, it was very limited. I didn't want to go to a big city. I didn't want to go to a different area than I was residing in at the time. And unless I wanted to be highway patrol, the only agency that would put you through if you didn't put yourself through. So total different circumstances. I don't regret doing it, but if I had to do it all over again, yeah, I was working full time, midnights, then going to school in the afternoons before work, and I did that for 9 months, and that was literally the longest 9 months of my life.
But it's just kind of a reminder to everybody, and not even just with law enforcement, whatever your dreams are, you don't give up on them just because it gets tough, because it gets fucking tough sometimes, man.
Oh, yeah, there's days I want to suck start my Glock, but I push through. I'm still here. I didn't even have to go through the academy.
I thought hugging my taser was good. Starting my Glock is probably the best one I think I've heard in a while.
I look back at my graduation photos. I'm like, holy shit, I had hair.
I know, right? Just a little.
You don't have hair?
He's got that giant fucking bald spot that I could probably brush my teeth in.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. Whereas me, my genes are good because I have a full head of hair.
I'd love to make some.
And only half a finger.
3/4.
Sorry, 3/4 of a finger.
Hey, be careful. He thumps you with that. You're gonna feel it till next Tuesday.
Dude, I don't care. I don't care how many fingers Shane is missing. He could still kick ass.
Well, I think he could be freaking WMPT and still freaking feel like Chuck Norris came upside your head.
Oh, he will fuck anybody up. But speaking of things being fucked up, let's talk about somebody that some say are happy. O.J. Simpson passed away this week at the ripe old age of, 76, I believe?
Yeah,
oh, the O.J. finally expired?
Yeah.
Dude, the memes that have been coming out of his death have been great. The one, I'm going to keep off detail, but the one that I sent in the group chat of his RIP photo that obviously isn't him. It's probably.
I'm just going to tell my kids that was O.J. Simpson.
Well, 2 things out of this I'll say on the memes wise. Number one, I think we can all rest assured that he's going to rest in peace, knowing that his wife's killer is finally dead. And if his funeral procession does not have a white Bronco and 15 LAPD units behind it, I don't want to see that funeral. Just saying.
Right?
You see what I mean?
But
that's a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, it is a missed opportunity. Shane, I don't know if Shane remembers it, but I sure as hell remember all that shit. I mean, we were young when all that transpired.
I'm older than you, Chris. Of course I remember it.
Well, some people don't. I don't know. So
I wasn't even a sperm in my daddy's nuts when that happened.
I watched that freaking that chase, live on CNN.
You mean they had CNN in East Texas in the 80s or 90s?
Yeah, who knew?
Wow.
I didn't know that. Of course, I wasn't here in the 80s.
So yeah, I mean that was such a big event. You know, you think about big events that we've had in our lifetime. That was one of the ones, and everybody has their opinion about that case. So
So Shane, obviously you lived in the Northeast at that point, but would you say the coverage of it was similar back then, as well as kind of how it affected your area? Because obviously Chris has talked about it before, or at least me and him have. It's been one of those things that everybody knows about it, and I mean, does. But what was it like for you up there during that time?
Hold on. Restate the question.
Hold on.
For the exit 308. So the flat tire does not have roadside assistance. The white Nissan 6 has this one.
Yeah, I think he's getting a motor's assist.
does she want a tow truck? Okay, just advise her we don't change tires. She needs a tow truck. We'll call her one.
Rude. We changed tires.
I ain't changing no tire.
I've got a jack and an impact just for that, mainly for my use on my Tahoe.
I have a jack, but I'm not going out and change the tire. I'm just not.
Well, I mean, is she cute? I'll go down there and change your tire.
I don't know.
All right, so
Says the unmarried one.
Exactly. There's a difference between unmarried and divorced once over. Thank you. Right, Chris? There's a big difference between divorced once over and divorced twice over too.
Yeah.
Anyway, the question I asked you, Shane, what was both the local and the regional, as well as for you, the national effect that the OJ case had? Like, was everybody stopping what they're doing to watch what happened? No.
On the Eastern Shore of Maryland, we really didn't give a fuck about the world events at that point, especially if something that happened in LA. Like, we're out in the country.
It just shows you the difference. And I've learned this myself from living in Jersey originally, moving to Florida when I was 17, and now being out here in Texas, just how different everything is.
Now, 9/11 scared us.
Yeah.
But all the LA riots and all that shit, none of that had any effect on us. Because we grew up in the country. We really didn't have a largely diverse populace that would be worried about that.
Well, I mean, 9/11 was just something that truly infected the whole nation. Like everybody that's old enough to remember it knows where they were when that happened.
Watched it on TV.
I was too young to remember. Like, I was in fucking preschool, I think. Not trying to actually make you feel old for once. But
for once, you do it all the time.
I'm an asshole, but that's okay. So are y'all.
Hey, it's Mr. Asshole to you, youngster.
Hey, fuck you, boomer.
Not quite a boomer, thank you.
No.
Sorry, they don't have a funny word for millennials yet.
Millennials is funny enough because I hate that fucking name.
No shit.
Y'all are veteran millennials with ADHD.
I don't have ADHD.
I have ADD.
I might have ADD. I got the DTD.
Yes, we add, subtract, multiply, and divide.
Speaking of assholes, we're going to talk about what happened in Brenham, Texas the other day.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck?
Uh-huh. So, for those that don't know, an individual got his CDL renewal rejected. He then proceeded to go steal a semi and then drive it into a DPS building where he killed one and injured, I believe, 14 or 16.
Yeah. It was definitely in the mid-20 range, or mid-teen range.
Yeah.
About what in the absolute fuck would possess somebody to do that?
I mean, very short-sighted thinking. A CDL is somebody's livelihood, and having that renewal rejected, I mean, it's gonna, at worst, or at best, be a massive fucking hole in your wallet, and at worst, it can fuck up your whole life. I mean,
yeah, but now to be a felon because you murdered somebody.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying the ends justify the means. I'm just saying
it just didn't make sense. I mean, you took a bigger situation into something that didn't need to be.
When you start affecting individual people, most of which had no involvement in the situation whatsoever, that ain't right. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because what did you do that they denied your claim or denied your renewal.
There's a reason for it. They didn't
something had to have been done. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was probably something predicated by him, i.e., failing a medical or getting some sort of ticket that would void you getting your renewal done, or, too many accidents or something else that was more than likely his own fault. And then he's going to blame somebody else like that and kill somebody that was not even part of this whole
wait on the
fucking
driver's
process?
license, most likely. I don't know if they've released that, but
I don't think they have. I haven't heard anything about it, at least.
it's ridiculous. Yeah, he's going to go down for it. And
Yeah.
after he even stole the
100%.
18-wheeler that he crashed in the building.
Oh, yeah. Stolen. He stole that motherfucker.
Stole the semi, drove it into a public fucking building, killed somebody, injured multiple others.
What does this sound like?
Sounds like a case of cattywampus.
No, it sounds like Grand Theft Auto.
I thought too.
I guess I jumped the shark a little. Oh well.
Only we can't destroy buildings in GTA.
I don't know. GTA 6, you might be able to. Who knows?
Oh,
Yeah,
whenever
if we ever get any more details out of that.
I know. Supposedly, it's what? It's supposed to release in 2025, 2026?
Yeah, there's supposed to be another trailer.
2025 for consoles, 2026 for PC.
Okay.
Did
Did they confirm that?
Yeah, that's.
I don't think it's
at this point.
hard confirmed, maybe soft confirmed.
Okay. The interesting thing is they were supposed to release a trailer for Grand Theft Auto. Another one, I should say. And I don't think they have yet.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it supposed to be in March or in April?
April.
So we still have a month
we
left.
got another half month left.
Yeah. They're going to, if nothing else, they are going to milk the shit out of the anticipation of this game.
Speaking of April, they've announced when Bethesda is going to release the next generation update for Fallout 4 for any Fallout fans out there. They're going to be adding a few modifiers to it. You're going to get the Enclave stuff back. I say back. You're going to get Enclave stuff, some extra power armor, some new skins for the Enclave power armor, and some quests. So it'll be entertaining to see what they can add to Fallout 4 and its wonderfulness.
See, I personally could never get behind Fallout. I just don't have the attention span for that, but
I'm actually playing it right now.
There you go. Is it in your top 3 there, Shane?
Yes.
Yeah? What else is there?
Fallout New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have my old school go-to.
Okay.
It was released in 1996.
Fuck.
Or 94. It was on the Super Nintendo. Super Metroid.
Oh, shit.
I'm not dating myself on that one at all.
Not at all.
Your go-tos?
One of my favorites of all time was The Simpsons Hit and Run. That was my GTA before GTA. Classic game. It's a fun game even if you don't watch The Simpsons. I'm going to have to clump a couple together. The Need for Speed series in the early 2000s and the mid 2000s.
Oh, absolutely.
Fucking great.
They were good. They were really good. Now I try to get a newer one and it crashes my computer. Even though I've got a 4070 Ti Super, it crashes my fucking computer because it gets too hot.
Sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
But my top 3 of those is going to have to be Hot Pursuit 2, Most Wanted, and a lot of people kind of give this one shit, but I enjoy it. Need for Speed Carbon.
I don't remember playing Carbon.
It was the successor to Most Wanted. I believe it came out the next year.
Wanted a bunch. I don't think I ever played Carbon myself. I've never played Most Wanted. So
I'll give you a quick rundown. Carbon, basically, it's a continuation because you start the game in that BMW and you're getting chased by Cross in a Corvette going down the canyon side.
I played Most Wanted. I tore the shit up out of Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was on 360.
Yeah. I think I did mine on PS2. Or was it PS2, PS3? I don't remember.
I was an Xbox guy.
Yeah. Basically, you start from that. You have Cross chasing you, kind of like from continuation of the end of Most Wanted. And then it just turns into this whole, you have to claim territory. And, I mean, there's shit wrong with the game, but it was a very good game. And then it was really cool having the dark back, kind of like from the Underground series. That was one of the ones I grew up on, and it was a fucking blast. What about you, Chris?
You know, it's funny enough. I've been actually looking today for it. I think The Godfather 2 was one of my all-time favorites. Very, very, very good storyline. Very immersive.
A movie-based game, huh?
Yeah.
I can't give you too much shit for that, considering I just gave you the Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah. That was a really good game too. You know, another close second for me was always going to be SWAT 3. SWAT 3 was really fun.
I've heard good things about the SWAT series. And then, of course, the game that brought us all together, GTA 5.
Yes.
Did you hear about me?
Very good. How much?
We'll see how GTA 6 is, and hopefully we can.
Ciao.
Hopefully GTA 6 can have a 6M or whatever the fuck they decide to call it. And
6M.
6M. Yes, please.
I'm curious how the models are going to be for skinning purposes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But
I think that what I read is a lot of stuff's going to come back. I mean, they are going to update some stuff, but a lot of the purposes of stuff, a lot of the vehicles are going to get reused because, you know, Rockstar's too cheap to pay, you know, these automakers for any kind of likeness.
Oh, of course.
well, yeah.
You know, $18 billion company, and we can't afford to toss in, I don't know, a Crown Vic here and there.
Well, I'm sure that the companies that own these vehicles as well are being cheap, stubborn bastards too. I'm sure it's both of them.
Oh,
Well, it could
yeah.
be, but you think about the Need for Speed series. I mean, think of all the big names they threw into that game.
Well, think about it like this. Toyota removed their licensing from all of them just because they wanted to be pricks. So,
Did they really?
well, I don't know the exact reason behind it. I say it being facetious, but yes, Toyota did remove their license. So Need for Speed or any racing game for the most part, I think, will not have the ability to use any kind of Toyota like the Supra, for example.
That was
Interesting.
big in like Gran Turismo, if Shane remembers that.
Oh, Gran Turismo 2 was the shit.
Yeah, it was. That was.
We still have it. We just gotta get the PS2 working again. I think we need to figure out what part of the power cable we need.
I'll bring you an AED to revive it.
No need. I'll just have it with my taser.
We'll bring it when we're driving back from Florida.
There you
Fair
go.
enough.
We have the Florida trip. I don't know if we talked about it last week or not. We have the Florida trip officially
We did a
booked.
little bit, I think. Yeah, we get that upon us. We got that finalized and ready to rock.
Part of that trip, we just made official. We're going to be going to the Hard Rock, which I've never been.
When we mean the Hard Rock, we don't mean when Giant sees a double D blonded girl.
No, we mean the casino, where hopefully I will see a blonde double D chested girl. But that'll be fun. I mean, I've never been to a Hard Rock. Have you?
Haven't really?
No.
Yeah, I've been to one.
Well, the only one that I think I remember them having when I lived there was the one in Miami, around where the Dolphins play.
Oh yeah.
And I literally went. I've never been to Miami. I went to Fort Lauderdale. That's the closest I've ever been to Miami. But it's really cool. We're gonna go up around Tampa, and I know we'll have a blast. And hopefully we'll have some nice moolah in return.
Yeah. That's always the hope. You know, you don't ever want to come back there from being broke.
Yeah, not like every time we go to the casino and come back broke.
Not always. You know, I think that one time, you know, you freaking lucked out.
I got a couple $100. I mean, yeah, I'm not that.
Nothing to brag home about. I mean, that's one
No.
of these freaking videos that I watch online. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing wrong because I did exactly what the fuck you did. Put my money in and hit spin.
Yeah, we just don't have the RNG, I guess, for it. We're going to get towards the end of this. Before we go, I already spoiled it, but that's okay. We're going to go with the word of the day, brought to you by the
Word of the week.
Sorry, that's right, the word of the week. I cannot get any of this fucking right. Brought to you by the fine people at Purple Heart Gaming. The word of the week is cattywampus.
Cattywampus. What does that mean, Giants?
In disarray or askew, cattywampus.
Cattywampus.
Remember to use that in your reports, any kind of work-related reports or whatever. Try to stick it in somewhere through your week this week here at the Purple Heart Gaming Podcast. I already used it here. So,
Yep.
Chris, it's up to you. And, of course, Shane, you too. It's going to be interesting. Cattywampus.
Cattywampus. Well, certainly, I think if Iran was to start World War III, it's going to be very cattywampus because they don't know their assholes from their elbows. They're still flying F-4 Phantoms. They're flying because, yes, we supplied them with F-14 Tomcats during the Iran-Iraq war because fuck Iraq. Well, they started acting stupid, so we stopped sending them parts because it's very labor intensive to keep Tomcats flying.
Yeah.
Like, they require a lot of man hours of maintenance. So either they had to make their own subpar parts to make those fly, or they're not actually flying them. Like, I don't know what they bring to the table that we can't shoot down. I mean, we've already surprised some Iranian fighters with our F-22s. Like, surprise motherfuckers, go home. This is just what happens when you have a third world country that has nukes.
A bunch of cattywampus.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna end the podcast here. I'd like to thank Shane
Not on the cattywampus.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Shane for joining us today. It's been fun talking to you.
Always.
It's been fun talking to you as always, buddy.
Always, always.
Is there anything else you'd like to say before we go off the air here?
Thinking about creating an OnlyFans and putting my stub on it. What are your thoughts?
I will make sure that goes on the website, and I will pay for it personally.
Well, too bad the website StubHub's already taken. So you know.
Oh, damn!
Fuck.
Although in Texas it'd probably be banned. So you know.
Probably.
I mean, considering you gotta create a account to log into Pornhub anymore if you're in Texas.
Well, you can't even do that. You gotta have a VPN apparently for what I'm reading.
This is your experiences.
No, not at all. This is what I've been reading.
Yeah, exactly. I read off the news.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, Chris, you got any final words?
Well, it's been a great week as always. We'll be back next week. Is that correct?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, yeah.
We're not going to be canceled like a U.S. postal stamp that's going up to 73 cents.
Oh, fuck that shit, man.
We have to have a separate conversation on that because holy fuck, what?
Sure, let's
yeah,
have.
Oh yeah.
Fuck it, let's have it now.
Real quick, they are raising the price of the stamp to 73 cents.
What was it? Okay, 'cause I always buy the forever stamps, but what was it before this hike?
What
like
is the current
50?
price?
I remember it being 49 cents the last. Shit, I remember when stamps were like 32 cents.
I do too.
I've rarely ever had to use stamps, and anytime I have, I've borrowed it from somebody.
I just buy the forever ones because then you can use them whenever the price increases. It's the smartest
so
way
right
to do them.
now, actually, the standard postage stamp, this is according to Google, looks like 53 cents.
I see 63.
So regardless, they're upping it more than 10 cents.
Yeah.
100%.
What the fuck?
I love it.
The standard size rectangular envelope starts at 68 cents. Standard size rectangular postcard stamps start at 53 cents.
That's what I'm reading.
There we go. This is from the USPS site themselves. So, not even stamps are prone to corporate greed and inflation. On that note, unless anyone has anything else they'd like to say about stamps real quick. Speak
Stamps
now.
or stumps.
There you go. Stamps or stumps. Well, thank you for making the title for today's podcast. Episode 3, Stamps or Stumps.
Oh, you are more than welcome.
From PHG to you guys, thanks everybody for listening, and we'll see you all next week here on the Purple Heart Gaming Podcast.